What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Ross the Boss coming at you with an all-new Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4. One thing that I did notice that we desperately need, or we do need a lot more improved artillery. So let's go ahead and get a whole new production line of those. They aren't going to be ready for quite some time. But luckily enough, if we go to our construction map mode, we are finishing up, I believe, yet again, another naval dockyard. I'm wondering why. I could have swore we finished that up quite some time ago. Well, now that we do own all of Iran, I believe we might as well start justifying a war goal against Afghanistan. Before we do that, it looks like they are mostly non-aligned. So let's go ahead and try to conquer Herat here. We have some free dockyards, might as well put them to good use. We do have quite a bit of convoys, so I think we're going to start pumping out our very first battleship. Is it possible, in the next 7 days, do we want... We don't even have Project 21, which is 1936. Oh my goodness, our battleships are so far behind. Well, I guess what we'll do is start pumping out a battleship. This is going to be very expensive. Luckily, we have all of these. We only want one. And luckily, it won't take too long. 7.79 years. Oh, and you know what? I thought I was going to get efficiency, but I obviously am not. So let's cancel this and pump out something not desperately too expensive. How about a... let's go with a heavy cruiser, just in case. We should already be producing a heavy cruiser in Vladivostok, which I believe is right here. So, I believe if we go into our production map mode, might as well put them else. Actually, we now have access to the Indian Ocean. I think I'm going to have them be built in Iran and Fars. So, right now, we have 175 political power. We have 471,000 manpower. We might have to go ahead and attack Afghanistan fairly soon. After we annex Tanutuva, I believe I'm going to start making my way towards Closed City Network, learning lessons of war, which of course will give me army experience, armored technology, land doctrine speed, research city, diversify the program, and closed city networks. Okay, so now that we have our support equipment working on our mechanized infantry, we are not in 1942. But we are in 1941, meaning we can improve our production efficiency cap by yet another 10%, which seems like the best idea for the time being. We have another 12 units that can head somewhere. Most likely... did we ever start fabricating on Afghanistan? I believe we did. 30th of July, 1941. Might as well get our tanks once again. Well, I don't know if we need to do that. What are these 6 units? These 6 units are... 2 of them are tanks. So how about these 2 units meet up with these 19? And that way we have 2 tanks. I believe these are medium tanks still, with a few heavies. We'll add them to the front line, and it shouldn't be nearly as hard taking more and more territory. And once again, if we hover over 30th of July, 1941, so not too far away until we declare war, 4 more months. We are still pumping out some better fleets. We are improving what we can. We should be producing quite a bit of aircraft. If we go into our logistics map mode, we currently have 410 fighters, 105 strategic bombers, almost 200 naval bombers, 200,000 infantry equipment. We certainly have more than we need. But once we go through a massive, massive war, we are going to need as much as we possibly can. And it certainly is nice getting a bunch of new naval dockyards. Of course, we do have the ability of some additional civilian factories, military factories, which are going to be very nice producing more and more of whatever we need, which appears is going to be military factories for the time being. Looks for a long time, at least. And our military factories are still being used towards our heavy tank production. Looks like we are now getting 4.32 every week, on top of an additional 4 every day, almost 5 every day. And as soon as we get our new tanks as well, which should be in 80 days, we'll go ahead and upgrade whatever we can. Going back into our industry, let's improve Concentrated Industry 4, giving us more factory output, dockyard output, and max factories in a state. Available planes in reserves. I think what I'm going to do is bring all of you. A lot of you are standing by. I wish they would consolidate whatever they can. Looks like these were naval bombers. Southern Sweden, Southern Sweden. It looks like most of these are still here. And from what I understand, we aren't in a war, but our main goal will be air superiority. Lacking range to completely cover the area and rain. Very sad. Naval strikes. Naval strategic bombing, of course, and strategic bombing. I'm wondering where all of my bombers are. We only have 30, from what it appears. Well, I guess we found them. Naval Bomber 1, might as well put them all to good use. Naval strike whatever we can. And so I finally figured this out. We now have to add planes, add air wings. I certainly want to use all of my strategic bombers, try to get them destroyed. We currently have 663 planes. All of you, looks like you do have the strategic bombing range, so we will bomb whatever we can, and it looks like it says day and nighttime bombing, and no retreat. Ooh. I think we'll do... Let's go with normal operations. I don't want you to... Well, actually, some of these fighters can be destroyed. I'd prefer to keep our strategic bomber. Let's go with no retreat. I mean, we're producing them. Might as well put them to good use. And I believe we could send a few units over here as well. The annexation of Tanutuva, Soviet Union annexes Tanutuva. And now we should finally begin working on Lessons of War, giving us research bonus to land doctrines and armor technology. Okay, we now have the ability to add a variety of planes as far as I'm concerned. Let us add some strategic bomber 1s, some fighter 1s. We keep getting interwar fighters and we just don't need them. We're really just trying to destroy whatever we can. Naval bomber 1s can also move over as well. Is it possible to select all of you? And it is. And once again, air superiority, naval strikes, air superiority, strategic bombing, air superiority, air superiority. A lot of these are going to get shot down, but that is fine. It's what I've been expecting. We don't have very many planes inside Crimea here. The Soviet Union annexes Tanutuva. They will be better off. And now, of course, I have about 3 civilian factories and 2 military factories. I'd like to annex Mongolia as well. Once again, we have low manpower. You can invite to faction, Xinjiang. I'd rather just destroy you. But I think we will. Actually, if I would rather have Russia own this province. Actually, about 4 provinces here. Not too powerful, but it could certainly be built upon. Now, we aren't actually in a war compared to the German Reich. I believe Europe here is, excuse me, Great Britain is bombing whatever they can. I wonder, if I go into my strategic map mode, am I able to determine how many planes are actually here? It says 0, but it's probably because we have 0 radar. Joseph Stalin angered by Afghan posturing. And I believe we are getting closer and closer. 30th of July, 1941. About 3 more months. We probably have the ability to modify our government. I think we're finally going to learn ship designer, giving us a negative research time, which is very nice indeed. And I believe our next political power will most likely go towards extensive conscription. But of course, we could also begin researching more and more doctrines, which we appear to have been neglecting, giving us mass mobilization, the effect on our partisans, plus 10%, and division attrition, minus 10%. That would save me a lot of men. As would a lot of these. Infantry recovery rate, organization, infantry combat width. What about some of these? These are more along the lines of planning and tanks, breakthrough, organization. I think we're going to go with deep battle. Supply consumption, minus 10%. We'll get that very soon. 31 days until our heavy tanks are completed. We've been producing the wrong kind for quite some time. Going into our construction map mode, once again, we are still chopping away at a lot of these, military factories. And it looks like we have completed our heavy tank production, now working on improved artillery. Another 12 units that can make their way down. Most likely going to be adding you to the Western European front. Where are these 12 units? We could go ahead and bring these 12 and these 12, put them all together. They do have a general. We are looking for 12 units here. I'm not sure where exactly their front line was. This can get complicated from time to time. It might have been here. There we are. Looks like they were the line against Hungary. Joseph Stalin questions Afghan sovereignty once again. We have finally completed a new research. We're now going to be working on some of our doctrines while we prepare for war. 1941 doesn't look like too much is still available. Going to be going with supply consumption minus 10%. 114 days, so it is going to take quite some time. Unpausing the game. Part of me would like to declare war, but the other part of me wants to just grow as much as possible while the United Kingdom here just destroys a lot of Germany. I would like to take a few of my ships. This is probably going to be suicide. These are mostly light cruisers. Gonna give you a commander, an admiral. We are looking for spotting chance. And really, I'm going to begin patrolling the eastern North Sea as well, assuming that we have enough supply to reach. And I would like to move into the English Channel and just scout around. But I'm really hoping we don't get bombed by accident. We probably will not. Okay, we have found quite a few subs, I believe. I wish it would tell me what these are. I believe all we're doing is patrolling. If we now look at strategic air mode, we are still unable to see all of their actual fighters, which is very unfortunate. I would really like to know if anything's getting bombed. 47% resistance strength. They really need to put some military police in these areas. And if we can find our 11 ships before they get annihilated. They're around here somewhere. Unless they've all been destroyed. Where are you? Let us no longer patrol. Have you head on back and hold the position in the Baltic Sea. Now, very soon, I believe in about 2 months, we should be able to declare our war on Afghanistan. Part of me would like to declare war on Xinjiang as well, and we probably will. Only because I would really like to have as much territory under Soviet Union control as I possibly can. So let's justify a war goal on Yarkand. 325 days, that'll be enough time. And of course, we have now completed all of our heavy tanks, going into production map modes. Finally unlocking the heavy tank compared to our previous heavy tank, the KV-1 versus just our regular heavy tank. Where are we now? If we scroll on up, improving all of our heavy tank production. We are going to be having some very powerful tanks here in the next couple months. Let us now upgrade more industry. I think I would love to see better construction times. Not really much going on in this campaign, but we are biding our time. I would like to see a world conquest, but, you know, we'll see how that goes. It's going to be very challenging defeating both the German Reich and the Soviet Union, or excuse me, oh my goodness, and Japanese's military. We no longer get the effect of the Molotov-Ribbon Pact, so that means, I believe our separate peace, or our, non-aggressive pact has now dissipated. Which makes me wonder, if I declare on the German Reich, will I even be able to hold off Legionary Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, and of course the German Reich themselves? We have finally completed Lessons of War. Let us go ahead and improve our heavy tanks while we're here. Go into production, alter the heavy tank variant. Let us get a little bit more reliability, a little bit more armor, a little bit more main gun. What about more engines? We are gaining a little bit of everything, which is exactly what I want to see. Better soft attack, not by much. A lot more hard attack, almost 10%. More piercing, and a lot more armor. And now we need to upgrade to all of our variants. This is the KV-1A. I believe. Did I do that correctly? I don't know if I did. I did not. Oh my goodness. Did I just... I'm stupid. I'm gonna cry. Did all of these get destroyed? Heavy tank. KV-1. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I just lost 70 army experience. That's stupid. I, of course, could quit the game real quick and restart, but we are playing Iron Man mode, so anything goes. No national focus. We also have the ability to do continuous focus. I believe what I'm going to try to do is get better air production, getting a lot more planes being produced. I could also do better infrastructure, refinery, rocket sites, A lot of forts and radar stations could pop up a lot quicker. Division training time minus 25%. We're going to go with air production. We'll see how long that takes to actually unlock. I really just want to declare war on Afghanistan, take a lot of their territory, and maybe move into Xinjiang as well. Very soon we're going to have some additional heavies, and we are going to have some additional 12 units, or 12 regiments in Moscow. We are currently waiting on support equipment. We need that. And it is at the top of the list, so that will be some of the first things to be produced. Looking at our construction map mode, a lot of our factories are being completed. Looking at our trade map mode, we have a surplus of chromium. We do need some rubber. We do need a little bit of aluminum. We have a surplus of oil, surplus of tungsten, and of course we have 99 extra steel. So I believe what I'm going to do is I will try to create more heavy tanks or battleships because they require oil, steel, and chromium. And I have a surplus of all of those. I believe our best option would be to produce as many heavy tanks as we possibly can. Might as well get another line. And I understand that we have 4 lines of heavy tanks coming. So we're probably going to have quite an abundance fairly soon. Let's go into our logistics map mode. I don't see any heavy tanks here. We're down negative 2.5 thousand. And we're only getting 3 every day. But that'll change very soon. We have 337 factories. We are lacking quite a bit of naval dockyards. We might want to improve that fairly soon. And as we collapse on Afghanistan here in the next 10 days, it might be a good idea. Well, I don't think they're going to be able to put up much of a fight. We do have some tanks here. They're not going to be able to do too much of anything. And we're going to get some much needed army experience. And we're going to have a new airport from what it looks like. And I believe on the 30th of July, we will have our claim against Afghanistan. Part of me would love to declare British Malaya has capitulated, which means the Siamese Empire now controls quite a bit of the rubber production here in, you know, the Asian Isles. Looks like Japan still hasn't been able to defeat China. It's been going on for a couple years now. Justification of conquering Herat for the Soviet Union has now been finished up. Let us go ahead, declare our war. And they don't have any allies, so once again, all of these units, let us activate your plans. And see how well we work on taking over Afghanistan. Completing another research, let us go into industry. I think we might as well unlock excavation very soon, but it is the year 1941. I think we're finally going to get decryption. I really need unfulfilled import requests. Rubber. We'll close this for now. Press send. Looking at rubber. British Malaysia, bringing you down. And now we have a bunch of free civilian factories. We do need aluminum. We do need rubber. And that is all for the time being. So let us renegotiate. Find aluminum. I think I want to get all my aluminum from the United Kingdom. United States has joined the Allies, therefore joining the war. Let us go to the United Kingdom. Take as many aluminum as we need. I believe this is aluminum, yes. 0 of 4. Here we are, 40 of 40 has been delivered. We now need rubber. I could get it from Siam, and I probably will. The Philippines have joined the Allies. We're about to declare war on Siam as well. Join war request from Mongolia. You may certainly assist. You can come here. You can move in. Looks like we have a massive dust storm. Expeditionary forces we don't need. Air wings with no missions. That is fine. I might declare war on the Axis as well. They're about to get their butts kicked by the United Kingdom and, of course, the United States. And very soon, the Afghanistan will capitulate. If we look at Yarkland here, which is where our claim will be, it won't be finished until the 29th of April, 1942. That's a very long time from now. Concentrated industry has been completed. We are now going to be working on excavation, getting a few more resources from our steel mines, our oil mines, and of course, a little bit of everything. How are the rest of our forces doing? They are doing quite well, though it has slowed down quite significantly. You can move here as well. You can move here. Joseph Stalin questions the motive of Xinjiang. I'm expecting the German Reich to have their industry be annihilated right about now with all of the air superiority of the United Kingdom. Now, I'm curious, can I take my fighters, and is it possible to take these 3 fighters, remove you from air superiority, and send you down to Germany? Let's send you down to Eastern Germany. Is it possible? I don't believe it is. Negative 58% range. All I want is some intel on the area. And we might need some better radar stations to have that happen. Research slot is available once again. Let us unlock deep operations, giving us some additional organization. And let us check on Afghanistan. We are taking over quite a bit of territory very effectively. Moving closer and closer to the capital. Might as well siege it down now. And I believe we are about to take the capital of Kabul. Gaining quite a bit of army experience as well. Any minute now. We are waiting for the green dots to reach 100, of course. Here comes our heavies. Unfortunately, they are fighting in mountains, giving them a negative 40% attrition rate. And if we look here, we are still making our progress against Afghanistan. Oh, there we are. Looks like our progress has finished up. We're going to take all states, go ahead, end our turn. And boom, just like that, we have finished off our war against Afghanistan. So now, our entire goal is to move these 21 forces somewhere. Most likely going to create a front line on the British Raj, even though I don't believe we're going to be attacking them anytime soon. But we might as well put them to good use. They're most likely going to be moving against Xinjiang very soon. And as always, I think I'm going to go ahead, pause the game, put a cut in here. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all have an awesome day, and I will see you in our next adventure.